Morning, folks. Be wee in a second. Just need to bring on Facebook. Who's in today? Mark Telfer, Mags, Alistair. Hi, Alistair. And I see Reagan and Wheat there this morning. Morning, Reagan and Wheat. Oh, he'll probably catch you tonight. Let's get Facebook on board. Okay, that's Facebook on board. New week has begun. This is a big week in politics. And I mean that this budget is a make or break for this particular government. So, should be interesting. Anyway, it's Sunday Two Davies in the 28th of the 10th, 2024, and it's the headline review. Okay, but before we get there, Andy Two Davies out the truck nap home in his office in Southern North Lanarkshire, where it is dull, overcast, wet, and bloody clammy at 14 degrees. Now, that's the weather forecast. That's how the weather sits in Southern North Lanarkshire. You want to know what it's like with you are? Look at your rain bloody windy, and maybe drop a wee comment so I can see what it's like. Now, I've already had a comment by Julie Brown to tell me the weather's bloody dreadful in Ayrshire. Right, okay. Let's get this show on the road. Oh wait. Right, first up this morning is the Independent, or the I. And it runs on a budget story. Budget warning for Labour as voters grow more cynical since election. Well, that's reflected in the polls, of course, because Labour have bombed in the polls. Starmer's personal ratings are through the floor. And yes, we have all become more cynical. We were offered change, and so far we haven't seen a single policy which would herald change. That's why this budget is so important. Right, next up is the Times, and it's another budget warning. This time it's prepare to face reality in budget, public told. The reality is, folks, that we have 50 plus years of economic mismanagement from the idiots in Westminster following a policy of neoliberalism. And when I say economic illiteracy, I mean it, because for every penny or every pound spent in the public sector, it brings back 4 to the exchequer. So cut, let the market decide has been a fucking disaster. 50 years in, and not a single one of these economic illiterates in Westminster have realised this. So we will have more neoliberalism. We will have more cuts to the public sector. And we will have more fucking economic illiteracy. And God knows how much longer this is going to go on. If there is such a being, me being an atheist, don't buy it. Anyway, the Telegraph tells us bias OBR, a paving way for Reeves tax grab, warns Hunt. So previous economic illiterate tells us, the public, that a conservative-based think tank, the Office for Public Responsibility, the Office for Budget Responsibility, set up by George Osborne, is paving the way for Labour to borrow cash. What this tells me is one economic illiterate is telling another economic illiterate that the think tank his party set up is biased towards the red Conservatives as opposed to the blue Conservatives. Because that's where we are in UK politics. So, one economic illiterate who mismanaged the fucking economy for a number of years tells the new economic illiterate who is going to mismanage the economy for another number of years that the think tank his party set up and they're a bunch of economic illiterates, is now biased towards the red Conservatives, the red Tories, the red right-wing party. Anyway, you couldn't make it up, could you? One economic illiterate tells another fucking economic illiterate that the think tank that his economic illiterates set up are biased towards her economic illiterates. Fucking shoot me. Right, the Hootsman stroke Scotsman goes on. Crumbling colleges rise fears over $775 million bill for repairs. Fears over chicken feed is what that headline says. Right, Scotland's GDP is 180 billion plus per year. But because we're in this union, our education sector's worried about fucking chicken feed. This is the fucking one of the richest countries on the planet, with shitloads of natural resources, and the fucking Scotsman tells us because we're in this fucking union, we're grubbing about to find fucking chicken feed. Wow. Talk about telling stupid people they're fucking stupid. That's what the Hootsman does every fucking day. That's why its circulation is only about 18,000 fucking rags a day. Because there isn't that many fucking idiots in Scotland. Wow. The Herald has lifting of council tax freeze not ruled out. People like it or no, and I know times are tough, but here in Scotland, the council tax has been frozen for 11 of the last 13 years. 11 of the last 13 years. Maybe time we have to give a little more. Remember, tax and services are linked. Tax and services are linked. If you can't afford your council tax at this point in time, there is a rebate scheme. But for those of us who can't afford it, maybe it is time to contribute a wee bit more to keep our public services at a standard that will keep our population reasonably healthy, well educated, and able to contribute to society. Right, the Record has Putin's gas ships must be stopped. I'm going to put this one up because it was interesting. Then I'm going to put up something to let you know how bent this fucking union is. So, Scots tanker firm faces crackdown calls. Not just Scots tanker firms. Wait, you get this. Putin's gas ships must be stopped. Is that fucking right? Is that right? Maybe it's time to sanction UK companies then, eh? Because we already knew that this was going on. I have a headline here to share with you folks. So I have. I've got a headline here to share with you. And this headline's for last year or the year before. First year of the Ukraine war, so a couple of years ago now. In fact, we're heading for the third year in April. But anyway, way back when this started, this was a headline in the UK press. British boats help Putin's Russia avoid oil sanctions. Off the Suffolk coast, industrial-scale transfer of Russian crude revealed a major hole in efforts to squeeze Kremlin. That's how fucking bent this UK union is. The Record saying this must stop. It should have stopped fucking 2 years ago. 2 years and fucking 8 months or something like that, when it started. But that's how corrupt the UK is. Shipping companies based in the UK, flagged by UK flags, UK carriers, are blatantly taking oil for Russia off the coast of England at a reasonably cheap price and then selling it on to the world market. I remember talking about this at the start of the Ukraine war. That's how I knew that headline was there. That's how I knew where to find it. Because I remember the story. And the record calling for it to stop the best part of 2 years and 8 months in. Not that anybody's paying any attention to the record, because its circulation is just as bad as the fucking Scotsman's or the Herald's. In fact, the newspaper industry's fucked here. If it wasn't for online, they'd all be out of business. Right, the National has, I'm going to put this one up. I am. Where is it? Here we go. The National has, it's a voluntary union, but you can't just leave, says Kimmy Badenoch. Yes, we can just leave. It just takes somebody in Hollywood to have a bit of backbone. Or somebody in Westminster to have a bit of backbone. Once they're given a mandate by the Scottish people. Just ignore their law. Their law doesn't overrule our law. Their law, as was proven in the prorogation of Parliament case with Boris Johnson, there's no any mightier or any better than our law. And any law written down that road, including the Scotland Act, has no fucking bearing on our law if we decide. Simple as that. It just needs somebody with a bit of backbone to remember that this is a fucking voluntary union. And the term voluntary means you can't just get up and fucking leave. And there's no international treaty ever written where one side could not leave if the terms and conditions no longer suited them. And I didn't say that. 2 or 3 Tories said that when it came to Brexit, including fucking idiots like Robert Buckland. So, yes, we can just get on and go. Just need somebody to tell them to butt out. And we don't give a fuck what the Supreme Court said. Because when you get right down to it, as the other David has pointed out, the Supreme Court has no jurisdiction when it comes to international fucking treaties. And that's what the Treaty of Union is. It's an international treaty. And as they said with Brexit, there is no international treaty which can hold a nation in that treaty. Right. That was a national for you. Right, the Sun tells us a UK TV soap star in pedo arrest. Obviously, they can't tell us who this person is at this point in time, whether it's male, female, what their name is, what they've appeared in. Can't have any of that at this point in time. Because everybody's entitled to due process. And innocent until found guilty. And to make the details of this person a public at this point in time might prejudice any decision the court might make, and it'll certainly make their life a fucking misery. Right, where are we? The Daily Mail runs on Labour suspend MP who punched man to ground. MP for somewhere in Cheshire, Mick Amesbury, filmed on CCTV beating somebody up on the street. Now, the footage shows two men talking. Apparently it doesn't look heated. Next thing, the MP decks this guy and delivers a further 5 blows. Labour have suspended the man. But once again, this man is due process. There might be something there behind it, which a court might see to justify this man's actions. We don't know. But suspend him from the party, well, you'd expect any political party to suspend a member if they were caught up in such an incident. Right, now, my favourite headline of the day, sorry folks, I don't have it to put up, is the Daily Star. The Daily Star in Scotland has a complete turnaround from their boffins 10 days ago with thicker heat. Hubble bubble. Now, 10 days ago, Daily Star boffins said that Halloween we would have a snow bomb, and their experts would predict precisely where in the UK it was going to hit. 10 days later, their boffins are telling us that Halloween heat wave is here. Well, it's 14 degrees in October, the end of October here in Scotland. For once, the Star's boffins might actually have a fucking point. Okay. Well, that's the bollocks in the headlines today. You know, but one economic illiterate telling another economic illiterate after 50 years of following the same economic literacy is fucking funny. I don't care who you are or where you are. That's funny. Watching one idiot tell another idiot to keep doing the same idiotic fucking stuff they've been doing for 50 years and failing it. Wow. That's comic fucking gold. That's absolute comedy gold. One economic illiterate tells another economic illiterate to keep doing the same economic illiteracy, which is fucking drove us to the point where we're a third world fucking union. Wonderful stuff. What a way to start the week. And the budget's on Wednesday, I believe. One more day of absolute comedy gold to come. What we do know is that economic illiteracy, which has been going on since Thatcher and Reagan, with neoliberalism and let the market decide, will continue. This is fucking comedy gold. Meanwhile, the shit flows in the water down there. Electricity is unaffordable right across these islands. There's still mass unemployment, even though there's fucking hundreds of empty positions, apparently. I don't see it myself in the shrinking economy. But hey ho. It's time for some honesty, especially when it comes to the state of the UK's economy. And let me tell you, it's not just flatlining, folks. It's fucked. And it's been fucked since Reaganomics or neoliberalism. Take your fucking choice. And it will remain fucked until we start to realise that this particular model with unregulated markets and corporate fucking greed being put above basic needs doesn't fucking work. There's a reason why the place is 40 bits, because all this wealth is concentrated with X amount of people, and there's fuck all left to look after your hovel, to make sure your granny stays warm, to make sure your kids get fucking shoes on his fucking feet, and to make sure they're fed. Wow, talk about fucking broke. That's what I've got for you today, folks. I hope you found it interesting. I hope you found it entertaining. Now hit the like button. If you want to share this, hit the share button. But it's time people started being told the fucking truth. And that is the economic model we've been following for so long is so fucking wrong. It's comical. The use guys have a nice day. Now, I'll be back at 4 o'clock this afternoon. I'll find out about lunchtime if David's up for it, because he'll be at his physio today. I believe he is being discharged for a while until he's ready to move on to the next stage. So hopefully he'll be fit and ready to go. But if no, I'll see you all at 4 o'clock. Bye for now.